Hi guys, I'm Snakaya and this is Benoit Knox, the founder of Supernova magazine. Today, he's going to give us a little insight on the magazine, how it started, how it's going, and how you can subscribe. Benoit, what inspired you to start Supernova magazine?
The ideas for Supernova started when I was a very young boy. I wasn't a big reader, but one thing I did love reading were magazines that I used to get from family overseas. These magazines had a big impact on me as a reader, and later when I became a publisher, I realized that a magazine would be the most important tool to create a reading culture in South Africa and to get kids into the habit of reading.
Benoit, how does a magazine address the literacy problem in South Africa?
Virtually all South African children can be classified as reluctant readers. Children can read, but they don't. There are many distractions in their lives, sports, technology, social life, and all of these things take away from their reading time. A magazine is a form of low commitment reading. It allows kids to go from the highly illustrated children's books of their childhood and ease their way into more difficult texts. So lots of images, lots of illustrations, short pieces of text that relates to the images always. These are things that help a child gain confidence, they help them build their skills as readers, and it puts them in control of their reading journey.
I absolutely love that concept, Benoit. And one thing I do know for sure is that Supernova prides itself on its fun, punchy content. But can you tell me how this content appeals to teachers and the classroom environment?
Teachers and education have been fundamental to Supernova since the beginning. Before the magazine ever appeared, we spent 9 months doing great research, visiting schools, speaking to teachers, speaking to headmasters, looking at the different ways that a magazine like this could be used in the classroom. And from day one, as schools started subscribing to the magazine, we started seeing teachers using it in ways that we could never have imagined.
My favorite part of the job is interacting with teachers when we visit schools. We recently went to Willamore High School where we met with Warwick Brown, the HOD of English, and he gave us some insight on how they use the magazine in their classroom. Let's take a look.
So we found we're using it in 3 major ways. So one, it's obviously a reading resource in the classroom.
Yes.
We're finding that the literacy gap of children coming out of junior school into high school is cavernous. They haven't been exposed to routine reading. There isn't a culture of reading in the home. And then particularly, they don't have access to texts. It's either the full-fledged sort of Harry Potter novel, or it's something absolutely twee where you're connecting the dots and coloring in with crayon. And your magazine fits ideally into that spot because it's lots of very interesting, very bite-sized articles. It's colorful. The layout is dynamic. It actually engages them. All right, our second big idea is obviously the media center. That's obviously more of a resource-based situation, but the factual content of the magazine ties in with a lot of the themes that the students are doing in SS, in NS, and LO. And that really works well. And then the best of the 3 is the extension, remediation, extra English lessons, and such like that. Because they're the children who feel embarrassed or shy about reading in class, can then come and make use of the magazine at their own pace. They don't feel shy about asking words or looking things up like that. And once again, because the portions of the text are ideally suited to them, they can work through that at their own pace. That, of course, routine reading pace is actually building up their confidence, and then obviously that ties into their diction, their vocabulary work, their creative writing. And of course, the themes are so important, as particularly like the constant references to nature, environment, ecology, and of course also other direction, professional development and careers. Because we actually need to start conscientizing the children now as to where they see themselves in the 21st century. And your magazine ideally plugs that gap as well. So multiple uses, it's wonderful.
Mr. Brown is using it in a high school context, which isn't what we designed it for. And that just shows you all the different applications for Supernova magazine, whether it be in remedial therapy, introducing STEAM subjects, a love for the environment, and definitely making reading fun.
We've been talking a lot about the magazine, but I'm sure you want to see what's inside.
In this issue of Supernova, we're going to learn about the awesome African buffalo. But let's take a look at all the other cool articles inside. First up, Supernova editor Candace gives us some insight into how the magazine came together and what's in store for this issue. Our team also shares their highlights. On the pinboard, we showcase our superfans' artworks and questions and get you started on some fun, short articles. Like in every issue of Supernova, we've collected world-class photographs and new discoveries. Our short, punchy articles cover everything from local and international music, culture, history and technology, as well as interesting jobs and the hottest trends. Then pack your bags for another amazing destination with Andy and blow your mind with random facts about life, the universe, and everything. Go on a voyage of discovery on Earth and through the universe. And then we get a little more serious with our feature articles. Learn about the amazing African buffalo, its adaptations, and its important place in South African ecology. Our environment articles are always followed by our famous eco-crafts. Supernova's feature articles cover a wide range of STEM topics, are well researched, written in plain English, and designed to get you reading and thinking. We give you just enough to make you curious and teach you to ask better questions. Once we've opened your mind, it's time to relax and have a little fun with quizzes, brain games, and awesome comics. Supernova's comics blend fiction and non-fiction to make learning fun. This is another amazing issue of Supernova, and we know you're going to love reading it as much as we loved making it for you.
Isn't it amazing to think that we've published 75 magazines just like this every 2 months for the last 12 years? This is a testament to the amazing team that we get to work with here at BK Publishing. Young people with so much talent, so much passion, and a desire to spread a love for reading.
As a member of the team, I know that a big part of our organization is spreading a love of curiosity in young minds. Tell me, why is the curiosity so important to you?
The Supernova is the magazine for curious kids. That's our slogan, and that's what we stand for. All children are born with curious minds, and parents, teachers, the media, all of us have an important role to play in fostering curiosity. With the change in the media landscape these days, children are being fed content via algorithm, so they're losing the skill of finding information on their own. Supernova is designed to center them, to bring them back into an environment in which they're in control, in which they can decide for themselves what is interesting and what is not. They might find new topics that are completely out of their usual comfort zone.
As I said before, my favorite part of it all is interacting with teachers and going to visit schools. So we have a clip from Eduplex where we met with the educators and learned how they use it a bit more in their classroom. Let's take a look.
My name is Yvonne Thatcher, and I'm the English and Afrikaans teacher for grade 4 and 5. In our school, we have got theme weeks in term 1 and 3, where we don't make use of textbooks, but all the subject teachers have to work out lessons and worksheets and activities that's fun for children for about 2 weeks, according to a theme that the children choose. And it's lovely to have so many options of themes to use in the Supernova magazine. And then it also encourages the children to bring their magazines, their Supernova magazines that they've got at home, because they know that we've got something that we've picked from, a theme that we've picked from your magazine. And those children who do subscribe to your magazine will bring it to school as well. And we sit in groups and read the article that you've got in the magazine.
Hello, I am Ilana Mayberg and I'm the grade 4 to 7 head of department at Eduplex Primary School. We love Supernova magazine. We are big fans because our kids love it. And in these days with social media and everything being so overwhelming, getting kids to engage with text is rare. So having this specific text that's chunked into bite-sized pieces with striking visuals makes the visual literacy so much easier for us. Our kids love it and they always want to get a magazine to work with. Also, we've had great interaction with the Supernova magazine. 1 year, my grade 6s, all of them wrote a friendly letter to Supernova and they actually got replies back. Every single one of them got a reply back from Supernova. So big fans, keep up the good work.
We have hundreds of schools subscribed to Supernova magazine, but some schools are super users. Schools like Eduplex have magazines in every classroom. They get used for assignments, tests, exams, and as a reward for finishing your work early. We create a magazine, We put it out there and it's up to you to find the best ways to use it in your context. Can I tell you a great story? Many years ago, in a little town in the Karoo, there was a teacher who would subscribe to the magazine with her own money. The kids enjoyed the magazine so much that she decided to run a quiz in her school to see how well they understood the content. Later, when we found out about this, we sent her a bunch more magazines so she could run the same competition with more schools in the area. It was such a huge success thanks to one teacher's vision and passion.
That's such an inspiring story, Benoit, and I'm really glad to see that this teacher saw our magazine as an investment. We obviously see the magazine as a great investment in any curious mind, but how can schools see it as well?
Supernova is an enormous investment in the development of any young mind. Every subscriber who receives their magazine at home already benefits so much from that one magazine. Can you imagine the impact that one magazine could have in a classroom of 20 kids, 30 kids, 40 kids? Some schools subscribe to just one magazine in their media center, but we have great packages for schools, starting at 5 magazines, 10 magazines, 20 magazines, and you can imagine how those magazines get used over the years. And there's nothing better for us than going into a media center and seeing a well-loved collection of magazines.
Benoit, I know that the dream is to have a Supernova in every single classroom. So how do we achieve that dream?
The motivation to subscribe to Supernova magazine has to come from the teachers. We have packages that will cover any budget. Supernova is produced by a small team with big dreams, and those dreams will come true with the help of all the teachers of South Africa.
We have told you all of the great things about Supernova, and our team will definitely be able to help you find the right subscription for your school. Visit our Linktree to shop online or email sales@bkpublishing.co.za to get more information.
It's time for you to take action and subscribe to Supernova magazine. Don't waste time. Contact us today.